Welcome to Whispering Loudly, the award-winning Workshop Whisperer podcast, as featured by Apple, with Rachael Evans, the #1 automotive business coach in the aftermarket. Thanks to Platinum sponsor Podium and Titanium sponsor Mechanic Desk.
Whispering Loudly is the Workshop Whisperer podcast. Hello, I'm producer Mel, and we'd really encourage you to go to Castbox or Spotify or Google Podcasts or wherever you listen and give us a 5-star review and rate us. If you've got the little purple podcast app though on your phone, we'd really love if you gave us an Apple review, because that sends us up the charts and it's free for you to do. So pause the podcast now and go and do it, please. Evana says, I'm 5 stars, by the way. Thank you so much. So informative. I'm on the 4th podcast and I'm hooked. Loving all the informative information you provide. I'm a mechanic's wife and I'm loving listening to the information provided and find it really easy to understand.
Awesome.
Coming up next, Performance Hub with Dean Evans.
Welcome to Performance Hub with Dean Evans.
Hello, welcome back to Performance Hub. This is a special series where we're doing the 4 core reasons why your auto repair shop is failing to live up to its full potential. We are up to the 3rd episode in the series, so if you're listening and this is your first one, you probably should go back to the first one of the season, listen to that, then listen to the second one, then listen to this one. Or if you are just going to listen to this, make sure you listen to the other 2 as well. Welcome so much. Thank you so much for joining us, Dean.
Hey, great to be back again. Thank you.
Dean, let's jump straight in. So in our last episode, we spoke about pricing, productivity and profit. What are we talking about in this episode?
In this episode, we're going to look at the 3rd of the core reasons why your auto repair shop's failing to reach its full potential, and that is a lack of support.
Okay, so this is obviously one that we tackle as well, and it's not always natural instinct for a business owner, in our case, workshop owners, to put their hand up and ask for help. What might it be looking like if our auto repair shop owner's business is failing in the area of support?
If we could observe you while you slept, and we understand that'd be a little bit weird, but you wouldn't be sleeping. You'd be lying awake at night just worrying about how you're going to pay those bills, how you're going to pay the team, how you're going to pay the suppliers, how you're going to keep the workshop owner. Are you going to make it to next month, to next quarter, to next year? You are actually afraid. And while on the outside you're putting on a brave face, probably pretending that everything's going well, inside you feel like a bit of a fraud, you feel like a bit of a failure, and ultimately you feel, this real deep sense of fear that, you know what, you're going to get found out and it's all going to come crumbling down. And I love the line that says, ignorance and knowledge both have a cost. But for anyone who's choosing ignorance, i.e. you're just burying your head in the sand, you're not looking at your business, you're not improving your skill sets, you're not using strategies that have been shown to grow your profits and, help you enjoy a lifestyle, then your level of ignorance is going to cost you so much more personally, professionally, financially, perhaps even with your family, than it ever would to go and invest in getting the knowledge you need and the support that's going to help you find your way forward.
Okay, so let's talk about the elements that we need to be looking at in terms of support. What's the first one?
So the first element of support is, and I've put these two together. And by the way, anyone listening, we refer to this as your workshop success team. Every individual role that we're about to talk. The first 2 really talk to one of the areas we talked in an early episode. The core reason being a lack of skill and skill around understanding your numbers. Gaining the financial literacy that any successful auto repair shop owner has. They know their numbers. They check their data. They look for trends. So the first area for lack of support is actually around accounting and bookkeeping. Again, we talk or hear time and time again, with workshop owners that say, I just can't afford to get a bookkeeper. We do the books ourselves. Or the accountant takes care of that, or the accountant tells us this, or the accountant says we can do that. That's delegating responsibility. In fact, it's not even delegating, it's abdicating responsibility for the success of your workshop to someone else. And our experience has been not every accountant has the skills to advise you on the unique strategies and systems that you need to be building inside your workshop. So yeah, absolutely you need an accountant. Absolutely you want to be seeing your accountant, but you need to be interviewing your accountant to ensure that they understand your unique position and are really part of your success team that want to help you get the results you want rather than you just following the advice that you're being given and accepting blindly.
And we obviously work with a couple of great accountants and we talk about them often, both in Australia and New Zealand. But the thing to remember with your accountant is that they're specialised in looking backwards. So they can only work with the numbers that they get from you based on the work that you've already done. They're not specialists in looking to the future. The couple that we work with certainly work very hard with our mutual clients to help them start projecting into the future. But in terms of the strategies and things like that required to grow, they don't always come armed with them. And in some unfortunate cases, and we had one just a fortnight ago where a potential client was actually abdicating all of their decision making to their accountant, and because of their accountant's very narrow view of the world, that business was stuck in one place, and it's likely that that business won't move out of that place for the foreseeable future until those owners walk away from that accountant. So super, super important that you've got the right accountant on your success team.
Yeah, 100%. The other role that's super, super important here and goes hand in hand with your accountant is your bookkeeper. We love our bookkeeper. Hey, Kathy, if you're listening, such a super important part of our team and a wonderful woman to boot. But again, we've seen posts in the Facebook group from our clients, they're there on a Saturday, on a Sunday doing their books. And in most cases, I think the problem here is that many people have this misguided belief that, I've got to bring in a bookkeeper. I've got to bring him in full time. I can't afford him full time. Absolutely false. It's maybe 4, maybe 5 hours a week. So part-time, they will take care of your books. But what they will give you back in time to spend with yourself, with your partner, with your husband, with your wife, of course, if you enjoy their company and your kids, far outweighs the financial investment you make to them. Because they know their stuff, they will do it quicker and more accurately than you will ever do. They'll make sure they take care of all the legal requirements, reporting requirements that you need. They do that for you. Yeah, you got to check it. And we teach that, but you get time back. And again, you can make more money because we help our clients do it every single day. But what no one can do is make more time.
Take a smoko and review us on your Apple Podcast app or wherever you listen.
What's next?
The next role, the next individual that you need to bring into your success team is a financial planner. Hey, as I said, accountants look backwards. So do bookkeepers look at the work that you've done, the income that you've produced. What a financial planner, or what an effective financial planner will do, they will help you look to the future. And we said in an earlier episode, one of the strategic areas that a successful workshop owner needs to be focusing on is profitability. Well, what do you do with those profits? Well, you go and talk to a financial planner who has a conversation with you around what do you want life to look like in 10, 15, 20, 30 years' time, and they start working with you to put in place, a series of strategies and systems that are going to help you move closer towards the realization of the vision you have for your life through the profits that you make in your business right now.
And for instance, with us, we have a very defined time that we want to work on for wealth, and we had to find a financial planner that also had similar experience for themselves so that we were on the same page. You could have been working with a financial planner for, say, the last decade, but your own goals change and you realise that you're, working with a financial planner that's actually far more conservative than you'd like them to be. So like an accountant, you should interview several financial planners, ask for recommendations. You might want to get into property, but your financial planner's not keen on that. They've got their own personal beliefs. So you need to ask around until you get referred to the person that you are comfortable with that is on the same page as you.
Yeah, I remember one of the things that I learned very, very early on as a coach and consultant was find the person who's got the results you want and pay them to teach you how they did it.
Correct.
And so, any one of the three individuals we've just talked about, or three roles, your accountant, your bookkeeper, your financial planner, you need to be interviewing them on, what does their success, inverted commas, look like? And if their version of success, is eerily similar to the one that you want, then hey, they're probably going to be a good match for you because they've got experience in the areas that you want to educate yourself in, which means they can accelerate your understanding, accelerate your momentum, and accelerate not only the quality of results, but how quickly they appear for you.
Join our free Facebook group, Your Profitable Auto Repair Shop, and join in on the conversation with auto repair shop owners just like you globally.
What's next?
The last one is really, coaching and mentoring. And I understand that some people listening to this might think, oh, well, here comes the plug. Actually, it's not, because the truth is that every single one of us already works with a coach, but they're called friendtors. Okay. And you've got a choice. You can work with a friendtor or a mentor. What's a friendtor? It's someone who says, oh, you know what? Well, if I was in your position, this is what I'd do. But perhaps, they're an employee. They go to work 9 to 5. They're paid a salary for the amount of hours that they work. Maybe it's someone who, they're a good friend of yours, but they run a removalist business. They don't run an auto repair shop. Friendtors are well-meaning individuals that will give you advice, but hey, how often do we go to the wrong person for the right advice? A mentor, on the other side of the coin, as I said, just a second ago, they will have relevant industry experience. They will be able to show you the results that they have got from the industry or the business that you're in. They have a proven track record. And certainly for us, we have felt this ourselves, having formerly been part of a generalist business coaching program. We learnt some amazing things from that. We met many, many wonderful people. When we made the switch to working with a mentor, and the mentorship that we receive is the single biggest investment we make in our business and in ourselves every single year. This individual is industry specific. He's a coach who helps to coach coaches, consultants. That's all he does. It's our niche, our industry. And again, the way in which him and his team have been able to help us accelerate our business results, it's night and day. So again, that final part of your workshop success team is having a coach or a mentor working with you who has the relevant industry experience that's going to get you, going to understand you, going to be really, really empathetic to the situation you're in, but rather than patting you on the shoulder and say, hey, there, it'll be okay, can actually lay out for you a series of strategies, systems, processes that will move you from where you are to where you want to go, and have a number of examples, evidence to show, hey, here's how people have done this, or here's how we've helped people do this who are in your exact situation. And a couple I can think of, one of the first clients of the Workshop Whisperer, he was 2 weeks, this is going back 5 years, he was 2 weeks away from shutting his doors. 5 years on, he's just moved into, a purpose-built facility, 3-4 times bigger than he was when he began. This one, he's not going to fall through the roof. True story. You might be really in the depths of despair, but seriously, if you want to get out of that position, enough, you really want to do better, there is someone that can help you do that because they've helped someone else do it before. You need to find that person. You need to invest, certainly the time, the energy, and perhaps, a little bit of money in having them teach you what they know, so their long road can become your shortcut to success.
And of course, if you want to take an extra shortcut, you just come straight to us here at the Workshop Whisperer. It's what we do every single day, helping auto repair shop owners to achieve business success. So if you're not a member of our free Facebook group, Your Profitable Auto Repair Shop, make sure you find us on Facebook, join the group, and we can start the conversation with you there. Thanks so much, Dean. We'll speak to you again on our next episode.
Thanks for listening to Whispering Loudly, the award-winning Workshop Whisperer podcast, as featured by Apple, with Rachael Evans, the #1 automotive business coach in the aftermarket. Thanks to Platinum sponsor Podium and Titanium sponsor Mechanic Desk.